A Batman movie without Batman? That is almost what describes Batman Soul of the Dragon. In DC's latest direct-to-video animated offering, Richard Dragon, Bruce Wayne, Lady Shiva, and Ben Turner work to stop the snake cult Cobra from opening a gate and unleashing the god Naga upon the Earth. Batman Soul of the Dragon is not based on any particular DC comic. It's heavily inspired by the late Denny O'Neil and the martial arts movies of the 70s. I like how IGN described the film. If Warner Brothers had made a Batman movie in 1973 starring Bruce Lee, Steve McQueen, and Jim Kelly, it would have gone a little something like this. Things like the title sequence, the score, the settings, and art direction, they try to recreate the look and feel of martial arts movies of the 70s, but the time and budget just isn't there to fully capture it. And when I say budget, I realize a lot of those 70s films had lower budgets as well, but it's different trying to recreate those items in an animated movie 50 years later. The film's best aspect is arguably its action. There are a couple of surprising kills. The film has a mild R rating. There's certainly nothing as violent as what we saw in Justice League Dark Apocalypse. As for the characters, Soul of the Dragon is an ensemble piece. If there's a lead character, it's probably Richard Dragon, voiced by Mark Dacascos. Kelly Hu plays Lady Shiva. Michael Jai White voices Ben Turner, a role he also played in the Arrowverse. The voice acting is fine. With this type of project, I know the actors are in and out of the recording studio relatively quickly, so I'm not expecting Oscar-worthy vocal performances here. James Hong, always a welcome presence, and here he voices O-Sensei with humor while also being a father figure to the team. He acts as the person who trains Bruce Wayne, basically, and as for Bruce Wayne / Batman, David, I believe it's pronounced Giantoli, he makes him sound almost like Adam West at times. This might have been intentional since West was playing Batman around that time period, the late 60s. That said, while we're talking about Batman, let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room. This movie is titled Batman Soul of the Dragon, but Batman is barely in it. Again, Richard Dragon is the closest thing we have to a lead, so here that subtitle Soul of the Dragon should have been the title. Instead, they slapped Batman on the title to sell a few more copies. But an even bigger problem here might be that Batman isn't the master superhero we've come to expect. He's a very watered down version here without the genius level intelligence or master fight skills. Instead of all that, his main characteristic is determination. He's portrayed as possibly the weakest fighter. He's not the smartest. He tries to fight a demon with a can of mace until Ben Turner suggests using the fire a few feet away instead. And the Batmobile has some bells and whistles, but otherwise, he doesn't have all his gadgets. And he's the only member of this team to dress in a costume, which makes him kind of look like an oddball in a way. Instead of Bruce dressing like a bat to spark fear into the hearts of villains, it's played here almost like, Bruce has our old friend Bruce has a quirk where he dresses up while fighting. Good for him. And compare that to Batman's role in Justice League, where Batman holds his own despite being a mortal among aliens and other worldly creatures. In Soul of the Dragon, if they wanted to downplay Batman to shine a spotlight on other team members, they overcorrected. And I get that Bruce Wayne is still fairly young in the movie, but still Batman here doesn't even do a Robin level of work on the team. That aside, the plot is simple and it moves fairly quickly to allow for the action scenes to take center stage. You have to wonder how 4 mortals can defeat a god or a demon, but I digress. They're not going for realism here. The movie moves at such a pace where you don't get a lot of character development. That's one of the big problems with these DC animated titles. They often feel like TV episodes more than features. And I still wish that instead of releasing a couple of these titles every year, Warner Brothers would put all their resources together, make one really great film. But I get it. They have to keep the assembly line moving so that if one title underperforms, another one is on the way to make up for it. And you have to respect that Warner Brothers at least allows a movie about Richard Dragon to get made, even if they put Batman in his movie's title to sell some copies. Overall, Batman Soul of the Dragon is a middling DC animated effort with exceptional action and a cool throwback setting, held back by a substandard plot. I give it 2 out of 4 stars. What did you think of Batman Soul of the Dragon? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, this has been Josh. Thanks for watching.